The snake strikes before anyone sees it coming. The coils are already wrapped around the infant gorilla's torso, thick as a grown chimpanzee's arm, constricting with methodical efficiency that speaks of millions of years of predatory evolution. The infant screams, a sound that cuts through the dense afternoon air of the island, like a blade through flesh, high-pitched and desperate and utterly helpless. The gorilla troop erupts into chaos. Females shriek warnings, juveniles scatter into the canopy, and the silverback, massive and gray-furred and accustomed to being the apex of all terrestrial threats, charges toward the sound with ground-shaking force. But he is too far away, 30 meters through tangled undergrowth, and the python is faster than anything that size should be. Already dragging the infant toward the dense thicket where it can complete its work undisturbed, she sees it happen from across the small clearing. She has been foraging alone, as she often does, because her presence in the chimpanzee group is tolerated but not welcomed, accepted but not trusted. They say she takes too many risks. They say she does not respect boundaries. They say her instincts are wrong, twisted, dangerous to the cohesion that keeps a chimpanzee troop alive in a place where survival margins are razor-thin. Her name, if chimpanzees had names, would be something sharp and unsettling, because that is how the others see her. Sharp, unsettling. She is 30 meters from the python in the opposite direction, from the silverback closer, but approaching from the wrong angle, from the side where chimpanzees should never be when gorillas are present, because territories on this island are viciously defended and trespassing means violence. The infant's screams are weakening already as the constriction tightens around its small ribcage, compressing lungs, cutting off oxygen. She has perhaps 10 seconds before the infant loses consciousness, 20 before brain damage becomes irreversible, 30 before death. Every survival instinct she possesses screams at her to stay back, to let nature take its course, to avoid inserting herself into gorilla business because that way lies exile, or worse. The silverback will not distinguish between threat and help. He will see only a chimpanzee near his dying infant, and he will respond with lethal force. Her own troop, watching from the trees at the clearing's edge, are already vocalizing their warnings, their calls sharp with alarm and disapproval. Stay back. This is not our concern. Do not provoke the gorillas. She does not stay back. She runs. Her body moves before conscious thought can intervene, before fear can paralyze, before the weight of consequences can anchor her to safety. She covers the distance in seconds, her powerful legs driving her across the uneven ground, her mind already calculating angles and options, and the tiny window of opportunity that exists before the silverback arrives. The python senses her approach and tightens its coils reflexively, a defensive response that squeezes another increment of life from the infant. She can see its eyes rolling back, consciousness fading, the small chest barely moving now beneath the crushing pressure of the snake's body. She does not hesitate. She grabs the python behind its head with both hands, her fingers digging into muscle and scale, and she pulls. The snake is immensely strong, its entire body a single coordinated weapon, and it does not release easily. It whips its tail around, trying to strike her, to wrap her, to bring its superior weight and constriction power to bear on this new threat. She holds on, feet braced, arms trembling with the effort of maintaining her grip on the writhing serpent. She can feel its muscles contracting under her hands, can see the geometric patterns of its scales up close, can smell the musty reptilian scent of it. The infant is still trapped in the middle coils, still dying, and she cannot free it while maintaining her grip on the head. She makes a decision that will define everything that follows. She releases one hand from the snake's head and tears at the coils around the infant with desperate strength, peeling back the crushing loops of muscle and scale. The python immediately takes advantage, twisting its head in her loosened grip, jaws opening to reveal curved teeth designed to grip prey while coils do their work. It sinks its teeth into her forearm, deep punctures that send bright spikes of pain up her arm. But she does not let go of the infant. She pulls the small gorilla free with a final savage yank and throws it clear of the snake's reach, toward the sound of the approaching silverback. Then the python has her coils wrap around her torso with terrifying speed, the constriction beginning immediately, tightening with each exhale until her lungs cannot expand, cannot draw breath. This is how the snake kills, through patient suffocation, through the simple mathematics of preventing respiration. She has perhaps a minute of consciousness left. The silverback arrives like an avalanche, 400 pounds of muscle and protective rage, and for a moment she thinks he will ignore the python and attack her. Instead, we'll see only the chimpanzee near his infant and deliver the killing blow that territoriality demands. But the silverback is not blind to reality. He sees his infant gasping on the ground, sees the python wrapped around the chimpanzee, and his brain makes calculations that transcend simple instinct. This chimpanzee saved his offspring. This snake is the enemy. He grabs the python's midsection with both massive hands and pulls, and the snake's body, strong as it is, cannot resist the raw power of a silverback gorilla protecting his young. The python releases her and tries to redirect its defense toward the gorilla, but it is too late. It has made the fatal mistake of dividing its attention between two threats. The silverback tears it apart, literally, ripping its body in half with a violence that sprays blood across the clearing and sends the snake as separated, halves writhing uselessly in the leaf litter. She collapses, gasping for air, her chest burning, her arm bleeding from the python's teeth, her mind reeling from what she has just done and what it means. The silverback gathers his infant, checking it for injuries. His enormous hands surprisingly gentle as he examines the small gorilla who is breathing again, conscious again, alive because of decisions made in seconds. Then the silverback looks at her. His eyes are deep brown and unreadably intelligent, and in them she sees recognition, assessment, a calculation being made that has no precedent in the normal rules of interspecies relations on this island. She has violated territory. She has interfered in gorilla affairs, but she has also saved his child. The equation does not balance in any normal way. What happens next will depend entirely on how this massive silverback chooses to interpret actions that fit no familiar category. The silverback does not kill her. This is the first shock, the first crack in the established order of the island where chimpanzees and gorillas occupy adjacent territories with a relationship best described as hostile tolerance. He stares at her for what feels like hours but is probably only seconds, the rescued infant clutched to his chest. And then he turns and walks back toward his troop, moving with deliberate slowness, glancing back once to ensure she is not following. It is not friendship. It is not alliance. It is simply the absence of the violence that should have occurred, and that absence is itself extraordinary. Her own troop is less understanding. They have watched the entire event from the trees, and now as she limps back toward them, bleeding and gasping and trembling from shock and oxygen deprivation, they do not rush to help her. They sit in the branches and stare with expressions that mix confusion, anger, and something that might be fear. The alpha male, a scarred veteran named in the silent language of chimpanzee politics by his position rather than any sound, descends to block her path. He does not attack, but his body language is rigid with disapproval. She has endangered the entire troop with her actions. She has drawn gorilla attention to their territory. She has violated the unspoken agreements that keep the peace. However fragile, between the two species who share this island, she tries to explain through gesture and vocalization, tries to convey the urgency, the infant's imminent death, the impossibility of standing by and watching. But chimpanzee communication is not built for complex moral arguments. It is built for hierarchy and immediate practical concerns, and what she did was neither hierarchical nor practical. It was reckless. The females are particularly hostile, their calls sharp with accusation.